Okay. I'd entertain a motion to open the meeting of the Holyoke Planning Board for Tuesday, May 9th, 2023.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
A roll call vote, Gerlander? Rosanna,
Yes, ma'am.
Nathan,
Yes.
Kate,
Yes.
Mimi,
Yes.
Gerlander.
Yes.
Okay, oh, there you go.
Okay. First up on our meeting agenda is the special permit for the fence height for 1727 Northampton Street, which I did not participate in. And the first question is it the will of the board to take this up tonight or to wait the usual 2 weeks before making a decision on it?
I'd say let's do it. It's easy. Let's get it off our plate.
Yep.
Okay, so since I cannot take place in this, I will turn it over temporarily to Kate.
Sure. Do we have a
You have drafts?
draft decision?
Of course we do.
Good. I have to say, when I went over to see it, it seemed I was much less worried about it in any case, seeing the site. I was thinking that it was across the street from that nice apartment building, but it's actually across the street from the parking lot of the restaurant there. So it really, I think, especially because they've moved it back a little from the sidewalk, it seems fine. And I really appreciate that they took the time to think about the design a little bit more.
Okay, this is the notice of decision for Kindred.
Oh,
Yeah.
it certainly is.
Okay. Let's try that
But
again.
It had the right name, right?
What?
Wait a
It's the
second.
right address, 1727 Northampton Street.
I think
No,
some
no,
of
no.
it.
So,
I
It
just
was
have to-
nearly next door.
I'll just, interesting. Okay. I'll have to amend that. Hold on. Just lost where it was. Okay. I'll take care of that. And that. Wow. Okay, something went awry. So how about if we go to the other one first?
Okay.
Can we take this out of order?
Okay, so this would be the special permit for the sign size for what is now Valley Springs Behavioral Health Hospital.
No?
I feel so badly for the woman presenting.
Yeah, they're sign professional. And I think this one is going to be easy because all we really need to do is change the name and the date. We already made the findings.
Yep, so it's referenced as Valley Springs at the top. Got the right date, the right people. I changed nothing over here except the last little note that we had down here. The previous special permit, is it going to be null and void?
Yeah, that seems reasonable under the circumstances.
Can I move that we approve the special permit for sign size, section 6.6? I'm sorry, 6.4, 6.6.4, Valley Springs Behavioral Health Hospital. Move that we approve.
Thank you. Is there a second? Yes, there is. Thank you. All in favor?
By roll call vote, Gurninder? Rosanna,
Yes, ma'am.
Nathan,
Yes.
Kate,
Yes,
Mimi,
Yes.
and Gurninder.
Yes.
Okay. I won't call on you Gurninder first anymore. I feel it. Okay. If you want maybe to go looking or do the rest of the agenda, I'll work on this document.
Oh, okay. So we've already taken care of the site plan review for Northampton Street residential development. We've continued that. We have continued the battery storage zoning text change. So we're on to planning board business. And I am actually not sure whether we need an executive session tonight or not. Does staff have any feelings about that?
I don't believe staff has any thoughts, but I know that we were still trying to figure out whether or not the city engineer reached out to the beta group, which was already approved by the board, but as to whether or not, or reached out rather to the applicant to transmit a check. So we're still kind of fuzzy about that. So I have no real update for you other than we're still trying to figure out where it is in the process because we haven't had any communication with council. So I don't know where that is. So we've been trying to find that out this afternoon.
Okay. Yeah, so I think that we're all right because as far as I know, nothing is going on besides we are still attempting to review this. And last I looked, attempting on fairly friendly terms with the applicant's engineer. I see a hand up. Whose hand?
That's Kaylee. Are you taking public comment at this time?
I think probably not in light of the continuing litigation.
Kaylee, if you want to throw your question into the chat, I
We can see.
work it from there.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, well, meanwhile, project updates, old business, new business. Jeff, anything that you need to go over with us?
Just briefly, I've got a few things. For one, Holyoke Housing Authority is currently seeking its final CO for phase one or the Holyoke Housing's South Holyoke project, which was, I believe, if I recall, 10 apartment units. They're currently in the final steps or stages to getting that final CO. They still owe us all of the submittal requirements, but outside of that, the plans look to be acceptable as far as what they've submitted. We've also been speaking with Library Commons. As you recall, 2 years ago, they came through and approved 3 different housing projects. All 3 expired last October. Haven't heard from them since, other than recently they wanted to know how to engage to move forward. I did email the person I've been speaking with from Dietz Architects, and I'm waiting to hear back from them as to how they wish to proceed. I know another question came up from a board member about the garage doors down at the transfer station. And speaking with Sean Gonsalves, the Board of Health Director, he stated that right now, currently, the they are seeking parts for the motors. He's seen the receipt to fix them. They're due to supply chain issues, they don't have the parts to fix them for what it's worth. But he also stated that in the site assignment, which is the process that they go through to have a licensed transfer station here in the city, that it basically read something to the fact that they would keep the doors closed to the extent practicable. So I don't know who determines that, but that's, or what practicable is, because, you know, even myself driving by there, I mean, I guess you could say that there's, you know, currently there's an issue with the motors and their functionality on some of them. I can't say all of them, but I guess due to day-to-day operations, it's at someone's decision that whatever practicable is, that's when they attempt to close them. So that's all I can answer to that. I did forward you all an email from Sean that had a document from, was it let's see, what was it specifically called? And you would have all received this earlier this would have been, or rather it would have been later last week. It was a legal handbook of the Board of Health, and then he gave us some page numbers that if you wanted to find it. It says the relevant section is 2 point, let's see, and covers the public health perspective. Anyway, you should have all received that. I know that Lauren was having a trouble viewing it. I don't know if anyone else did, but if worse comes to worse, I can resend that to you. So anyways, that's kind of, unless anyone has any questions on that, that's pretty much the end of that.
Could
That's
you
all I've got.
resend it? Could you resend it? I don't remember seeing it, although that's
I sure
probably
can.
my fault. It would be
Yep.
great.
Okay, and then what I'll do is, because I know it'll be a good send, I'll send it directly from the send that I sent from Lauren, because that way I know that one did go through for her.
Yeah, that one was perfect. Thank you for sending that to me
Yeah,
again.
no problem. Thank you. Let's see, Kate. Okay, so then to the best of our knowledge, this planner 2 position is still frozen. I know that came up as a question. I don't know when it'll be unfrozen. I just know that we can't currently go back out to interview or to seek to fill the position, I guess a better way to put it. And I believe, unless anyone has anything else, that's all I've basically got. That's all I've got for right now. Thank you.
Nathan, I see your hand up.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yeah, the Massachusetts Boards of Health Handbook, you can just download it from Google too. I just realized that. You just search for the legal handbook for Massachusetts Board of Health, and it'll be the first one in the search result. Secondly, I think one thing I've been thinking about is so it's a very long-term idea, but so the planning board is technically charged with the master plan, although in reality it's we hire a consultant to do it. So just something that I've been thinking about. Maybe at some point we want to start thinking about a new master plan. I believe the last one was written in 1999.
Yes.
And you can kind of find it if you dig around, but it's not even really well published. So it's just something to think about. And yeah.
So for what it's worth, we're already
Yeah.
working on that, and
Oh,
we're
okay.
currently writing grants to do it, because obviously
Right.
first time around we spent about 150,000. This time we know it's going to cost upwards of probably over 250,000. It is something that is currently being worked on, but it's basically going to be based on grant money and any other money that can be found. So it's a significant process. I mean, it's significant. And I know that was one thing that, others have kind of strayed away from wanting to do in the recent past. I know that this mayor or administration wants to move forward with something, but, just know that it's significant. I mean, it's a lot, it's a ton of work. It's gonna, and this isn't me saying it's a bad thing. It's just me saying, know that it's gonna, the board will be, it's not just meeting twice a month. It'll be significant meetings, significant discussions, and typically ends with the rewrite of all or part of the zoning ordinance, which then obviously the board and staff are then charged for that whole position or that whole job as well. So but you know, I've got an RFQ request right on my desk right now that I'm reviewing, and I've got to have that done by the end of the week so that Aaron can send it out. So it's we're working on it.
Thank you.
Jeff, how long does that process normally take?
Last time we started it in 98 and it ended in 2002.
All right.
So, because the first half was nothing but the master plan. And then the next 2 years was all about getting the zone changes through which was both a mapping, map updates, because so therefore the whole board, you know, it was all about looking at the zoning and how the districts laid out. And then after that, it was looking at all the text. Last
Gotcha.
time around, we hired a company called Map Inc., Jeannie Armstrong. She was the one that really helped shepherd it through, but we also hired Mark Grabowski, who is considered the godfather of Massachusetts zoning. He did the final reviews, and you know what came out of the 2000 master plan was the DR zone, the BE zone, the idea of smart growth zoning overlays, expansion of the arts industry overlays. So you know it's significant review. It's a ton of work, and why I probably am also stressing that is just the fact that arguably we've got myself, we've got Alex, and we've got Sharon. No offense to include you last, Sharon, but it's just we're basically a staff of 3 who I believe will have some help from Jennifer Keat as senior project manager from the OEID side, as she's the one that's helping put the actual grants and our RFQ stuff together. So anyway, so it was 4 years last time from cradle to grave.
Wow.
And also we were able to hire at the time, because the then director, Jack Hunter, back in the late 90s, he was very friendly because he had gotten his master's at UMass and was very friendly with John Mullen, who at the time was the director of the LARP program up at UMass. And then later he became the dean, the chancellor, and I think he may have some role up there still, but at the time he owned a side company. So which he basically employed all of his students, or a great number of them. So what was really handy was he would not only manage the charrettes, because he was also a very likable guy, but he also would bring about 6 or 8 students down. And so each student would man a table when we were doing the strengths, weaknesses, and all, you know, all those exercises at all the public meetings. So it was super handy to have that type of staff. Because at the time it was only myself. I'm not sure if Sharon, you probably don't recall if Karen was here yet.
Karen?
Yeah, was she here for the master plan? I'm assuming she was.
She
So it was
was,
myself,
she-
Karen, Jack, and you and John Mullins guys or people, staff. So that's all we really had to do it. So if something moves forward, just know that it'll be like, you know, what's the priority? Working on the master plan as a short-staffed office, or is it going to be working on the daily stuff that we bring to you every 2 weeks? Someone's got to make some decisions. There's just only, you know, obviously so many hours in a day. So. Thank you.
Right, and I think I guess if some cities with more resources, they just outsource the entire work to a larger consulting firm. But yeah,
Oh, right, they outsource it, but at the end of the day, we're still being interviewed a million times, or we
Right,
still hold a
right,
role in it. I mean, they don't
right.
outsource the whole thing.
right,
By
right,
no
right,
means do they outsource the whole thing, because I mean,
right.
they're working with us for us.
I see.
So,
Well, it just yeah, sounds like it's a huge undertaking. Ideal, but not always so practical. So thank you.
So
Um,
if I
me-
can jump in for a moment here, we had a message from Kaylee, who's actually here because she wanted to ask where we were about tiny houses. And I missed the last meeting, but I did want her to have an opportunity to ask her question and maybe just briefly talk about it. So if that's okay with the board, if we can make Kaylee a co-host again, perhaps she can take it from there.
My only question, maybe, I mean, I'd love to hear from her, but we continued it to the next meeting with ordinance. We didn't continue it to this meeting. I mean, just shows she knows that's where we are in the process. We, that's
Immediately
one of the,
opened and continued, I think.
we opened and continued because we didn't have a quorum to take it, or we were losing our quorum to take it up. So it's still very much at its beginning stages, and it'll be back on the agenda when we meet with ordinance next.
Well, according to my records, and Sharon, please correct me if I'm wrong, I thought only planning board had it, tiny houses on the 23rd. I don't have it, you know, unless I took bad notes. On my calendar, I'm showing it board only. Where any of the other continuations like Best, banners, short-term rentals, small wireless, those were all continued jointly.
I feel like the intention was to continue it jointly.
See, I thought we were gonna take a stab at it because they wanted to kind of just continue it way out, but I think, didn't we kind of discuss and say we were gonna take it up just as the board to start thinking about what your all thoughts were? Because we don't really have a document yet or anything really in draft form. So I thought the planning board took it just for their own discussion, so that way we could then guide future.
That's
Yeah,
in our
we did.
minutes.
Hey, I think what we did, the last two topics that we discussed were the or didn't discuss were the short-term rentals and amending section 642 exemptions. Those are instantly open and continued.
Right.
So the tiny houses was the second thing we discussed. But did I do those minutes? I can't
Yes.
remember. If I did the
Yeah.
minutes, then I can recall what we continued to, but
We have them to be approved, so we have them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Oh.
then the question would be whether this is one of those matters where we're allowed to discuss procedure outside of a public hearing, even though there's a public hearing in session. And I don't recall offhand what the answer was to that.
Well, I think one of the things to clear up is it board only next time? Kind of like how the board talked about Best tonight on their own, or was it joint on the 23rd?
The best we intentionally continued separately so that we could do work we needed to do.
Right,
My assumption, my recollection, which might be faulty about tiny houses, is that because that was going to be a joint hearing, but we weren't able to do anything about it because we needed to continue it, that what would need to happen would be that we would jointly open it next time, as we would have last time had we had a quorum, or had we been able to hear it.
but I thought we had a quorum for that portion.
we did.
We
We did. The
did.
tiny houses, now that I read the minutes, we continued it for just planning May 23rd and resumed jointly with ordinance September 26th.
Oh, did we? Okay, then I'm misremembering.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so Kaylee, if you're still with us, where we
Now
are.
that we
with
think we know what we're doing.
now that we
Yes, no,
think we-
that is exactly what I had in my notes, but I just remember the comment about the subcommittee, and I didn't know if the subcommittee was going to be formed prior to the 23rd.
You're right about that. We did say that we would do that, so that's probably something we should be doing now.
Okay, well, I was not there for any of this, so Kate, I'm gonna rely on you again.
Wait, I'm gonna go find my notes. Where did I put that note? Oh, that should be in the minutes, right? Is
Yeah,
that
I'm
in your
pulling-
minute?
I'm
Sure.
pulling them back up. Yep.
That's why I was remembering it. That's why it sounds familiar. Yeah, we had a list of who we thought should be a subcommittee, and those folks should meet, and that was on my list of things to bring up today when we got to it.
The working group consisting of a planning board member and staff and the building and law departments will be presented for review at the next public hearing.
Okay, so we need to set that up.
Okay, so,
So the
So-
next public hearing jointly on tiny homes is September 26th.
No, I meant to present.
Our public, yeah,
Okay.
present back to us.
Right.
So I gather, Kaylee, you're volunteering to help give information.
Absolutely. Anything that you need.
Do we have a board member who has a particular interest and has time to meet on it ASAP? Because it sounds like we're hoping to have a working group before.
If an associate member is allowed, I would be happy to, but I understand if I am not.
That's a good question.
I don't know the answer, but I don't see why you can't be on the committee. If we're considering having members of the public on the committee. Well, I
Can't
would
see
certainly
why,
think-
I can't see why Lauren can't, but it might be one of those cases when it comes time to vote for it. She
Yeah.
can't vote.
Maybe that's the best thing. Have an unbiased person without a vote on the committee then.
I would love to have Lauren do it. It interests me, but I don't have, I can't do it right now. So if Lauren is willing to, I would love it.
Yeah.
And also, for what it's worth, last week we had our new planner one, Alex Weiss. He started, and one of the tasks that he's got before him is to research, well, local ordinances the best he can, and then go out further to gain further information and start compiling other communities' ordinances so that we can start using it as points of comparison.
Specifically on tiny houses?
Correct. And Alex is here, I think. I see his name on the
He's here.
screen, but he hasn't shown his face. Maybe it's all a
Get to
ruse.
meet
Maybe
Alex.
he's not really there.
He's coming.
No,
Yeah.
we're
There
here.
he
Happy to be
is.
here.
Hey. Yes, you can't look forever. We'll find you.
That's right. But yes, very happy to help out researching that for you.
Great.
So does that constitute staff? So we've got a board member and staff.
Well,
Right.
I think it'll be two, I think he and I will both tag team it a bit, but sure.
Okay, so we have staff, we have a board member, and we have a volunteer member of the public.
Just need building department and law.
Right, so I mean, I'm sure Jane will be available as, you know, as she always is. And I do want to, I had a brief conversation with the building commissioner about this. So I definitely want to make sure that I'm not sure if he'll be able to sit with us at length, but I want to make sure that we keep him in the loop. Just because, you know, at the end of the day, he's the one granting the permits for these. So, and, you know, issuing, well, COs and walkthroughs and all that. So we got to make sure that he's understanding and on board.
What did you say, Jeff? I'm sorry, I missed the name.
I said, well, building commissioner,
Oh, okay. Which
Kevin
is,
Lajmonier.
thank you. Hey,
And I mean, if Alex is doing research on Northampton as a municipality, although I don't know specifically much about tiny houses, you know, I can assist him with these questions.
Excellent.
Thank everybody for remembering what happened better than I did. I'm glad we got it sorted out. I also might point out that, I don't know if people saw, but in today's paper, I think it was the Springfield paper, but maybe it was the Northampton paper because I looked at both. There were a number of letters that were written about the tiny house initiative that's going on right now in Hadley. And it just might give us an idea of the sorts of things that we might hear and might need to respond to.
So Kaylee, do you want to send us your contact info or get it to Sharon?
Absolutely. What is the best way to do that? Via email, chat?
yeah, you can just put it in the chat and I can grab it from there.
Okay.
Mimi, I am set whenever you are on the notice of decision.
Okay, then I think we have the tiny house thing covered, and we can go back to the special permit for fence height for 1727 Northampton Street.
So I took care of all of the front to be appropriately referenced.
Rama is spelled R-A-M. It's Rama, like, kind of like ramen, but thank you.
Yeah. So it's not a grape stake fence anymore, is it?
It's
I
a
would call it cedar stockade.
cedar stockade, yeah.
And this was the only other fence model that I had to take from was Bay State. Was it Bay State? So this will need to be changed to reflect that location.
I can't participate in this one, so
This might be okay. I'm going to assume that the utilities one is okay.
I think the only one we need to change is the first one. Let me just talk through it, and
Mhm.
it doesn't protect the property because it's an open fence, as people have been pointing out. It protects the privacy of the participants of the program.
I was
as well
gonna
as
say,
their
yeah, so they don't
neighbors.
see in the windows, right? That's what it's
Yeah, it's like
for?
residents and staff.
It also, and it has a beneficial effect for the neighbors because it will. I mean, I don't know if this is worth mentioning or how to mention it, but it will contain any noise, help contain any noise. Shield the neighbors.
Okay. So let's make that a sentence now.
Yeah. I don't have many sentences left in me at this point in the day.
Okay. Provide privacy.
Provide privacy for residents and staff of the program as well as their neighbors.
That. Proposed plans provides privacy for residents and staff as well as neighbors. Good.
You might want to put Kate's participants back there because I know that they may not bill themselves as residents, but I do believe they do have overnight stays there periodically. So I'll retract my residents and take Kate's participants.
Okay.
Thank you.
Right, because there might be, even if there are people who are residents, there might also be people who are only participants.
Right, and I also don't want to bill it as we're calling it out as like a residential
residents, yeah.
building. It's not
Yeah.
intended for that, but it's might be an after effect of that. That makes sense.
Good. The noise,
I wouldn't even mention the noise. I think that that's good enough what you've got.
right,
If there's noise, we've got more problems than we're.
the fence is necessary for,
You could say that it is their safety. I mean, I think that still applies, but I don't think the second bullet would apply because they're still proposing plants and shrubbery, just not at the capacity enough to shield. So you might want to remove the second bullet point. And then the second bullet point, now you might want to say the fence is positioned in such a manner that it will not impair.
Yeah, sounds good.
In such a manner as to
which is what I put.
fence
You
is
still want-
positioned in such a manner. And I'm sorry, I'm answering for you as the board.
Right,
Fine.
okay, you good there? Oops. Good,
Yep. All right, I move that we approve the special permit for fence height for 1727 Northampton Street.
Oh, I was waiting for Gurney to say second.
you can say second, Nathan.
It's just, it's easier for you to write the minutes if it's predictable. It's pretty,
I'll second
Copy
that,
and
Nathan. Thank
paste.
you.
yeah.
All right, by roll call vote. Rosanna? No, never
Yes,
mind.
ma'am.
Was she at that one? Hold on.
No,
No, so, Lauren,
yes,
Nathan,
Yes.
Kate,
Yes.
and Gernander.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Okay. So I think that that brings us to the meeting schedule. And everyone is muted for some reason.
I just added on there the July 11th date at the bottom, the site plan review continuation for the Hampton Street residential development.
Excellent. So for May 23rd, so far, we've got our joint hearings with the ordinance committee. We've got zone change, public hearings for battery storage, short-term rentals, exemptions from 642. Do I know about this? The wireless telecom issue. On June 13th, so far, we have the Duncan remand
I
hearing.
just received an application today for a special permit for a sign for that date at Kmart Plaza.
No,
Um,
that
Jeff,
doesn't seem
help
to be
me.
a problem.
Jeff, what was that, what was the
It was
business?
it was an appliance store, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't remember the name of the appliance store. I just remember being
Yeah.
appliances.
So there's no problem adding that to June 13th, I wouldn't think.
Western Mass Appliance.
So,
So you're okay with that on the 13th, Mimi?
I'm okay with it. And June 27th, we are trying to keep clear because we will not have Jeff with us. And then we just scheduled Northampton Street for July 11th. And that brings us to minutes, of which we have a great many. Thank you very much, Sharon.
Welcome.
And has everyone had a chance to review them?
I received some edits from Kate, which were taken care of. Nothing too substantive. Kate, what was that one set that was a big, oh, the site plan review for Duncan Remand? The line
that
that
was-
was,
Yeah, that was the only substantive thing. Because I think that I don't have it in front of me, but it said something about that Jeff and I had met with the applicants, but I think what happened is that we okay, maybe provide an update.
no,
Well, it should say have been in communication in order to prepare for them.
Yeah.
I think that's sufficient.
okay. So
I'm
that
so
was the
sorry,
only-
I totally missed this meeting.
okay. Anyone else have any,
No, that
Edit.
was the only thing that had jumped out at me, and Kate already took care of it, so. If no one else has any comments, is there a motion to approve the minutes as a package?
I would
Can
like
you-
to move. Oh, Nathan, do you have a?
I apologize. I feel I saw something, but I lost track. I'm sorry. Can I just spend 10 seconds? Okay, looking at. Nope. Okay, I think it's the tiny house minutes. There was yeah, it's a little technicality, Sharon, but I have one sentence in the minutes for the tiny house hearing.
okay,
It says Nathan Chung stated that in the case of mobile homes, they're no longer affordable due to the increase in the land lease, which is a factor to consider. I think rather than saying they're no longer affordable, I want to say I was trying to say they may not become affordable. It's not always the case, but sometimes that's the case. It's a very minor point. You know,
Yeah.
So they may become not affordable rather than saying they're no longer affordable.
and they may not become affordable.
Yeah, yes.
Okay. Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I had a very
Well-
quick look, so.
Well, good point, though. We like to be accurate.
Okay,
Okay, now is there a motion to approve the minutes as a package?
I move that we approve the minutes as a package.
Second.
All in favor?
Rosanna,
Yes, ma'am.
Nathan,
Yes,
Kate,
Yes.
Mimi,
Yes.
Gerlander.
Yes.
Okay. So the last item on our agenda is other business committee reports, if any.
So I should just report back on the parking study. So I'm on the parking study committee. You may remember the mayor has appropriated some money to have a parking study done, sort of follow up and update what Jeff and PVPC did 10, 12 years ago, whatever it was. So we have PVPC's help this time in getting an outside agency on board to do that for us. And so the committee we got applications, went through them, and actually, was it yesterday? It was just yesterday. It seems like years ago. Yesterday, we interviewed the top applicants. And so hopefully relatively soon, we'll have a group on board to get the study started.
Excellent.
That's my report. Oh, I know the other thing. we had talked about the Pioneer Valley Planning Commission has commissioners.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Mimi has been our commissioner and I have been the alternate. I don't know, Mimi, would you like to speak to it?
Yes. Yes, it is a fascinating gig for which I have found I really no longer have time. So I would love it if there were someone else willing to be the alternate and we could promote Kate to full commissioner.
What is the time commitment like?
It is a meeting about once a month that runs about an hour and a half. And there is generally some reading to do ahead of time that I have not made myself very good at doing because I have been the alternate. I think as the alternate, one can probably just show up at the meetings and really probably doesn't even need to go unless the commissioner can't go. But I think it's good to go in any case to learn how it functions and what's going on. There are often presentations that honestly are pretty interesting, although they tend to be at a time when I'm also having to, you know, wait while my kid is on the field. So I will need to attend a little bit better to it, but it's really quite interesting information.
When are the meetings? Are they evening or?
They are on a Thursday evening, usually 6. But I can actually look for you and see when the next one is because it's when it is. 5:30. Second Thursday of the month. It says it's every 2 months. It feels like it's more often than that. So it's
I
only
would-
6 meetings a year.
I would do that, but it conflicts with local historic district commission, so I
Ah,
can't. Yeah,
okay.
same Thursday.
It's always Thursdays.
Well,
You know
let's
what-
say,
What
Um,
Thursday is it? Like first Thursday?
Second Thursday.
Hmm.
Almost always. Occasionally they have to change it, but that is what it typically is.
Yeah, second Thursday is my book with the taxpayer committee.
well,
I'm there
how
with them.
about we go away and think about it, and I will ask again when we meet in 2 weeks.
Or I could be
If
the
it's
commissioner and
only-
you
if
could be
it's
the
only-
alternate.
That's
If
true.
it's only once every 2 months, I can, how much reading is it?
If you're the alternate, you only really need to do the reading if I'm not going.
Okay,
If I tell you I can't make it,
okay.
because the alternate votes if the commissioner's not there.
Okay,
And actually, you know, if
I
it
can
is,
do that.
okay, then.
Great.
I can do that. As long as you guide me, Kate, because you know, like I'm an emotional speaker, so sometimes that's why I'm always on mute.
You know, as the alternate, you really won't have to speak at all. It's a big group of people. It's usually presentations. It's not usually a lot of discussion.
Okay,
You know, it's mostly
Okay.
like getting information about regional planning issues.
absolutely. Let's promote you.
Okay.
I need to point out my last correspondence with the PVPC says that the mayor appoints the alternate. So I would just have to, I suppose, put that bug in his ear and get his blessing to make this happen.
But does the
Thank you,
planning
Sharon.
board appoint the,
Yes,
okay.
Yeah.
But so I guess
So-
the planning board needs to vote me in as the commissioner and then we can suggest Rosanna to the mayor.
Yeah.
It's the alternate.
Okay, well, I move that we appoint Kate as our commissioner to the PVPC.
I'll second that.
If I can even make that motion, perhaps I should have asked someone else to.
So
Nate, go
I'll
ahead.
make
Nathan,
that motion to make Kate as a commissioner.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Rosanna, second. Oh,
I second. Or Rosanna.
Nathan.
that's-
No, Nathan's good. Thank you, Nathan.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, all in favor?
okay, by a roll call vote, Gernander,
Yes, Sharon.
Rosanna,
Yes, ma'am.
Nathan,
Yes.
Kate,
Yes.
Mimi.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay. Any other business?
CPA committee monthly meeting is tomorrow at 6 p.m. It's now every second Wednesday of the month. And yeah, you can look at the agenda, but one item discussion on the agenda is $100,000 emergency grant application for Wisteria Hearst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is unusual to have the applications coming in this time of year.
Yeah, I know some details about it, but I think it'll come out during the public meeting. So there is some reason for the emergency oops, not gonna talk about it more further. If you're interested, please come to the meeting.
And that's tomorrow?
Yeah, that's tomorrow at 6.
Okay, I will try to come to the meeting. But yeah, Wisteria Hearst does seem like kind of the example of what one wants to have CPA funds in order to help with. So, okay, anything else? Anybody? Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second,
All in favor?
roll call vote. Nathan,
Yes.
Kate,
Yes.
Rosanna,
Yes.
Gernender,
yes.
Mimi,
Yes.
keeping Gernender on his toes.
Thank you, Sharon. Thank you.
You're welcome, Gernender. I will see you in a day to sign some minutes.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll just hop in there. I know you're gonna be there, sitting there on the desk, and I'm just gonna sign and leave, even you're not there.
Okay. So, do you know when you might be coming? Cause, I gotta hit print on all of them.
Maybe Thursday, not tomorrow. I got a busy day tomorrow.
Perfect, that's fine. They'll be on the counter for you.
Thank you.
All right, everybody, thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
See you all in 2 weeks or sooner.
Happy Tuesday.